Hello, we're here today to introduce to you the Hatha Yoga for Diabetes videotape. With me is Dr. Amelia Rapole, MD, from Colorado and co-creator of the tape. Welcome, Dr. Rapole.
Thank you.
Doctor, before we get started with any detailed information on Hatha Yoga and how to use this tape, I know there's something you wanted to make certain our viewers understand about this exercise program. Would you like to address that now?
Yes, I certainly would. I want everyone to please be aware that this program is not a substitute for medical care by a qualified physician who deals with diabetic health and disorders. If you have been diagnosed as having diabetes, it is imperative that you continue with regular ongoing medical follow-up. If you have never had a checkup for diabetes but suspect you have diabetes, or if you have a family history of the disease, I strongly encourage you to obtain a thorough medical examination to assess your personal risk and to determine if you have the disease or not. Another thing, if you have other limiting physical, mental, or emotional disorders unrelated to diabetes, you should check with your physician before starting this program. Also, for your safety, when you're using the tape, please pay attention to the cautions given with some exercises and do not use this program if you're currently pregnant.
Dr. Rapole, I understand that exercise of any sort can have an effect on diabetes medication and that the effect is not the same for every diabetic. Is this true? And if it is, what should a person who wants to use this tape do?
It's very true. Exercise of any kind, even Hatha Yoga, can impact the amount of diabetic medication needed. Because of this, it is my opinion that any person who has diabetes and wants to start an exercise program should check with their doctor. In addition, your doctor may want you to monitor your blood sugar levels even more closely while on this program and may want to hear from you if you have any unusual symptoms.
Well, thank you, Dr. Rapole. Doctor, there are many types of diabetes and many different kinds of care. Can you tell us a little more specifically who this program was designed for?
Yes, the program on this tape is aimed primarily at people whose doctors have not restricted their physical movements and who are otherwise in a good state of overall health. Age may or may not be a factor. The best thing to do is check with your doctor first.
Well, Dr. Rapole, why Hatha Yoga as an exercise program?
Most of us are familiar with Hatha Yoga as an exercise program from India. What many of us are unaware of is that Hatha Yoga is a multifaceted physical discipline which is also used in India as an important medical tool for many disorders, including diabetes. In fact, recently, Hatha Yoga has attracted the interest of many major medical researchers in the West because of its medical success in India. Indian research on Hatha Yoga and diabetes has shown that increasing overall body flexibility and strength, massaging the internal organs, and teaching the patient how to cope better with day-to-day stress are important factors for diabetic health. These are all areas where the program on this tape may be able to make an important contribution for a person with diabetes.
Well, that's very interesting. Hatha Yoga also addresses diet. Do you cover this in your tape?
Even though diet is a major factor in diabetes, unfortunately there is not enough time and space on this tape to discuss such an important issue. But I would like to say that there is an enormous amount of research going on worldwide regarding diet and diabetes. Some of it is extremely promising. Some interesting research that has attracted my attention is being done at the Bihar School of Yoga in Munger, Bihar, India. For more information on this and other studies, there are names and addresses given at the end of this tape. There are many interesting and exciting changes going on in the diabetic world. A good way to keep up with them is to contact or join one of the various diabetic organizations. And of course, nowadays there is always the internet.
I see. I understand that this is not a regular Hatha Yoga tape.
You're right. This Hatha Yoga program is not a generic one. It is based on research from Indian and Western sources and has been carefully designed for people with diabetes who are interested in actively pursuing new tools for their overall health. It takes into account the needs of many different groups of people. Many of the exercises in this program have been selected for their direct ability to massage internal organs, others for their effect on depression, which is often found in people who have ongoing disease, and others because they link directly into the Chinese medical science of acupressure. There are many adjustments and tips for many of the exercises which are great to help for people who have lived a more Western lifestyle and are less flexible than their Indian counterparts.
So it's not pretzel yoga?
No, not at all. In fact, the tape is divided into 3 sections, each a little bit more advanced than the previous, so people can work into the program at their own pace.
Dr. Rapol, what if some of the people in our audience would like to do these exercises with their spouse or other family members? Is it harmful for someone who does not have diabetes to do these specific exercises?
No, these exercises were chosen because according to Hatha Yoga theory, they help to promote health in the entire body. This includes men, women, and children over the age of 12, and whether they have diabetes or not. I also want to say to those of you who are new to Hatha Yoga, please do not be discouraged if you cannot do all the exercises immediately. Some of our models have been doing Hatha Yoga for years. You will be able to do more and more of the exercises with practice. Also, if you do not get results right away, don't worry. In my opinion as a physician, some of the long-term benefits of Hatha Yoga, such as stress reduction and others, can be extremely beneficial to you in the long term. And don't forget, when working towards better health, every little bit helps.
Thank you, Dr. Rapol. Now let's go take a look at some of these exercises. This pose is also reputed to be of great benefit for diabetics. If you choose to do it, you can gradually work your way into it by lowering your stack of blankets until you can comfortably lie on the floor without them. There are 2 versions of the moving cobra pose presented here. The first is the moving version of the beginning cobra pose. Lie on the floor on your stomach with your face looking at the floor. Place your hands under your shoulders with your fingertips approximately in line with the tops of your shoulders. Stretch back with your toes and engage the muscles of your calves, thighs, and hips. Then, on an inhaling breath, raise your head, shoulders, and chest up off the floor. Then exhale and lower your upper body back down to the floor. Repeat in time to your breath 4 to 5 times at first, working up to 10 to 15 repetitions as you grow stronger. It is still important not to strain or overstretch, and it is still important in this version to raise your upper body only as far as your back muscles can comfortably lift you. Also, at the end, remember to rest for a moment. The second version of the moving cobra pose is similar to the previous one, except when you have lifted your upper body as far as your back muscles can lift it, you need to push up with your arms and stretch higher as you did in the cobra pose. So, lie on the floor on your stomach with your face looking at the floor. Place your hands under your shoulders with your fingertips approximately in line with the tops of your shoulders. Stretch back with your toes and engage the muscles of your calves, thighs, and hips. Then, on an inhaling breath, raise, then push your head, shoulders, and chest up off the floor. Exhale and lower your upper body back down to the floor. Repeat in time to your breath 4 to 5 times at first, working up to 10 to 15 repetitions as you grow stronger. It is still important not to strain or overstretch, and to rest for a moment when you have finished. Now that you have seen these poses, you can work them into your daily exercise routine as you feel you are ready to do so.